Hi, good afternoon. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Super excited. Welcome to today's Soul Wealth
Hey,
Chat. There she is. Hey,
how are
V.
you? Can
I'm
you hear me okay?
good. I can hear you. Can you hear me fine?
I can hear you.
There's
Good to
all that
see
beautiful
you.
curly hair.
Thank you.
Good. I see some of my sister friends on here. Hi, Veronica. Hi,
Hi,
Lisa.
everybody.
I want you all to get well acquainted with this beautiful soul, DJ Phoenix Amora.
Nice to
So
meet
we're just
everybody.
gonna chat this afternoon, give people some time to hop on here. Hey, Carla, Queen
Hey, it's
Sugar,
gonna
that's
be a
what I
day.
call her. There's my friend John Hart. Hey John, heart to heart. Well, let's just jump in here and let's chat. Let's talk.
Yes,
DJ
ma'am.
Phoenix Amora. First of all, where did that name come from?
DJ Phoenix Amora. Okay, so I'm a DJ. That's the obvious
Okay.
part.
All
Phoenix,
right.
I kind of gave myself that name because we're all going through a rebirth process. So,
Hmm.
and mine is Amora. I love Spanish. So the language of
Yeah.
Amor is love. So I put an A at
Uh-huh.
the end because you know how they do the female distinction between male and female. So it's
Yep.
Rising in Love. DJ Phoenix Rising through Love.
I love that.
Yes, ma'am.
Rising in love. So DJ
hmm
Rising in Love.
hmm Spreading
Oh,
love
that's
across to everybody who wants to hear good love, positive music on a good frequency. That's what my purpose is.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's amazing. DJ Rising in Love. So whenever you're doing an event, people
hmm
know that they're dancing in
To love
love
vibes.
and
All love
dancing
vibes.
to
Positive vibes.
rise. I'm telling you, Veronica, you got to get to know this beautiful, beautiful sister.
So sweet.
Veronica, my sister, who's on here right now, she's the founder and creator of Wonder of Women.
Okay.
And one thing that I know well is that like attracts like.
It
Right? So
does.
dope women attract dope women. Soulful, loving women who are rising
hmm
attract other soulful, loving women who are rising. Did you always want to be a DJ?
Oh, that's an interesting story. So my dad was a DJ, but I never got to see him do it. He was sick since I was two. So
Okay.
Uh, let's see. So I started in middle school. I started making mixtapes. I've been a musician since I was in elementary school, but I never thought making mixtapes in middle school would be like equivalent to DJ. So I
Mm-hmm.
started about 5 years ago. I bought some equipment after my dad passed away, and I said, you know what, I can do this because I love music, even if it's just for me and nobody else. I just love playing good music for people, with good purpose. So good lyrics. Lyrics have meaning. It's about being purposeful in everything that I do. So music is good.
Mm-hmm.
Everything music, everything good vibes.
Music is good.
hmm
So you said you are a musician.
hmm
Talk
Yes,
about
ma'am.
that.
Okay, so I've been playing flute. So, and I'm working
Okay.
on guitar, but I like my nails, so it's a little hard to get my hands on. I'll try to attempt to play it.
Wow.
Are
So
we frozen?
flute and
I think we are.
piano.
We good?
Yeah, I think so, but we're going to keep talking and hopefully it will, let's see. Can you hear me okay?
There you are.
There, can you see me? Yeah, okay.
I can
Not
see you.
sure what
Yeah,
that was
yeah, yeah.
about, but okay. Awesome. So you play the flute
I play
and
the
you're
flute,
teaching yourself how to play piano.
keyboard. Yeah, most of them I started reading music when I was in about 10, 11 years old. Self-taught. We
Wow.
keep
So
freezing.
how long have you been playing the
Yeah.
flute?
Yeah. Since fifth grade, summer fifth grade. And I played all through high school. I was in marching band for 4 years and symphonic one band since middle school.
So most people who are musicians and who play multiple instruments also like to write music. Do you like to write music?
I do. And it's a new territory for me because it just
Hmm.
started coming to me. I used to write poetry, but I didn't think it was lyrical. So,
Hmm.
um, in finding that I've come up with my own chords and type things, it kind of flows into a song. So I'm definitely exploring that territory now.
But more poetry.
Poetry and composing as well. Both.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
DJ Rising in Love.
Hmm.
DJ Phoenix Amora. What was it like for you as a child? You feel to me, because I'm leaning into just your energy and your easy spirit, right? And you remind me of me and how I
Yeah.
grew up. How were you as a child? What was your childhood
Very,
like?
very loving. I loved people. I loved people's
Hmm.
energy. I like to be around people, and if I saw them sick or sad, I like to, you know, gravitate towards them. And what can I do? How can I help you? Just I was a very loving child, very sensitive. I could cry at the
Hmm.
drop of a dime. My
Hmm.
feelings were hurt. I wanted to be liked and loved by people and received with the same energy I was given. And that's not, as an adult, I realize now that's not always the case. But
Right.
my intentions were good. So it's, sensitive. I would cry. Just very loving child. I love people. I love people. Did we pause?
Yeah, just keep talking. We're gonna talk through it. I'm not
Okay.
sure why it's pausing like that, but we will definitely keep talking. It will it'll come back. I'm just decreeing and declaring that it will come
Okay.
back because this is a great conversation.
Yeah, this is new
So
for me. This is my first live.
it's fine.
Yeah.
We're just chatting. That's what soul wealth is about, just
Right.
living in the ease of the moment, living in, the ease of sisterhood and conversation. Um, so you were a musician in high school,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Right.
And then that followed you into your adulthood. Did you always want to be in the music space for yourself personally? I know you said, becoming a DJ really was in the legacy of your dad, but is that
Mm-hmm.
something you always knew you would do? I know for me, when I was growing up, because I was very, very sensitive, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, like I said, I felt like I was talking to myself when you were talking about your childhood, being sensitive and
Mm-hmm.
wanting to be liked and things like that. Um, but I knew whatever I did, I had to be having fun,
Mm-hmm.
right? And music was
Yeah.
always a part of that for me. So
Mm-hmm.
did you always know you wanted to be around music and do the things that you're doing in the creative space? Because most children who are sensitive are very creative.
Yes. I would have to say yes because even after when I graduated high school, I didn't, we do things differently here in America, so they don't really cater to what it is that you're good at. They tell you to go get a
Hmm.
job, and do
Right,
get the money, and then this is what real life people do. But I
right.
always felt like there was more to life than going to work at a job and doing things that weren't fulfilling, and it took me 13 years to get it. It took me 13 years to realize that I need to go back to doing what I love most, and music has always been my outlet when it comes to my emotions, when it comes to, um, when I'm at the gym working out. It's always been my go-to. So, it always made me feel safe, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
If that,
it
yeah.
does.
So yeah, I've kept all my instruments. I've always, if I'm not working, I was gravitating towards those things. And yeah, definitely I felt like eventually, and of course, with having dreams and that, I felt like eventually it was bound to happen that I would end up where I am. Hmm.
How did you get into jewelry making? Because your jewelry is gorgeous. It's beautiful. What is your jewelry IG page? You all have to go and see her beautiful bracelets that she's
It's
making. What's that IG?
it's at Phoenix Amora Designs. I started doing it for therapeutic. I just love using my hands to do things. So I would see malas and stuff and, necklaces where they would knot things. And I would sit and watch stuff like, believe it or not, Law and Order. I'd be sitting there and not really paying attention to what's in the background, but I would sit and
Uh-huh.
listen to music and just knot these necklaces and it just unfolded. I see different colors and it's intriguing. The beads, I like to touch them. It's very therapeutic for me. So I do it and I've gifted a lot. I don't really, the monetary thing comes with it, but I've gifted more than
Hmm.
I've, wanted to sell them. So, it's just, yeah, it's a therapeutic,
It's
I would say.
natural, a natural
Hmm.
flow, right? The
Yeah.
jewelry, the
Hmm.
music, the poetry writing, the
Everything
DJing.
creative. Yeah.
There you
It's a
have it.
vibe. It's a vibe.
What was therapeutic for you about the jewelry making? Like your
Hmm.
jewelry is so beautiful. So there was some benefit that you were getting from that.
Hmm.
What were you healing? Because therapy is about healing, and we want to
Mm,
normalize the word
that's good.
therapy. We want to
Hmm.
normalize the word, you know, I needed more support. I needed to heal some wounds. So,
Hmm.
whatever you're comfortable sharing, and I know you're real transparent and
I'm very
vulnerable, which is what I
transparent.
love about you.
Hmm.
So, what were you healing? For me, Soul Wealth really is birthed out of years of searching for what I already had,
Hmm. That's
which
big.
was acceptance, which was affirmation. And I didn't really know, I wasn't conscious that I was searching for acceptance. I
Hmm.
was not really conscious I was searching for affirmation
Hmm.
or approval. But I feel into the soul of other women so deeply because
Hmm.
I know what that is like to want to connect. It was about this connection that I already had, but I
Hmm.
didn't know that I had it. I was searching for it. And for me, I was searching for it in sisterhood.
Hmm.
I was searching for it in friendship.
Right.
I was searching for it in connecting with other girls, which turned into connecting with other young women. So I played sports. I played, team sports from middle school through high school, all the way through college.
Right.
And I was a Girl Scout. I was a Brownie. I had a girls club. I had my very first girls club when I was 10 years old.
Oh,
And the
wow.
name of the club was Clover Zodiacs. I don't even know, that sensitivity. I was that child laying in the grass, looking at the sky, watching the clouds. I'm a sky watcher.
Hmm.
So I was, searching for what I already had. So that for me is connecting with other women. So when
Hmm.
women talk to me, about sisterhood and about the magic of how we heal one another and how we connect to one another, that is what I was working through.
Hmm.
I had some breakdowns to break through, to break open, to now a very comfortable and beautiful place, I'll call it, of
Hmm.
transparency and vulnerability, understanding that the things that I've come through, the things that I have gone through and grown through weren't about me. I
Hmm.
came through all of that so that I could be a well of love and light and lifting for other women. So when you
Right.
were sitting there watching Law and Order, making your beautiful
Not really
jewelry,
watching. Right. Hmm. I
what were you healing? What were you working through?
think we're paused.
Yeah, we're gonna keep talking. I can hear you
I
even
know.
though the visual is but what were you working through?
Um, Finding, when it, hold on, wait for a pause. Okay, so yeah, like finding, getting away from realizing how dependent some of us become on coping mechanisms. So when it
Mhm.
becomes to being whether it's codependent or, my fix is always I had to be in the gym. If I wasn't working out, like I just didn't feel right. So I had to find different outlets to avoid, going back to the normal of being depressed or being,
Mm.
having, just negative thoughts, just stuff that I'm in my head a lot. So I have to find things to take my mind off of. And I didn't do it to not deal with it. That actually helped me to sit with my thoughts,
Got
because I
it.
don't really have to think about what I'm doing. It's like, okay, so, and I'm focused on what I'm doing as well, but it just helped me separate, okay, so this is what's on your mind, address it, focus on it, and work your way through it. So, and that goes with when I'm at the gym now too. It's like, what are you thinking about? Why are you thinking about it? Address it, and work through it. It's important to do
That's
that, and
powerful.
it is, and it's my go-to. I don't go to the gym just to look good. I go to the gym to focus on my mental health first, first and foremost. And the same thing with being creative. It's like, how can I help somebody, with doing what I'm doing to help me heal internally as well? It's not about us, it's about other people as well too. So, we have to heal ourselves and give back to what we've learned from that process. So it's
I
definitely
think
a
it's really
helpful.
powerful that you've connected the movement of your body to the wellness of your mind.
It's important that it's what is that phrase? Your body follows your mind first. If you don't have your mind right, I'm tired, I want to stay in bed. That's what your body's going to do, because that's what you're telling it to
Right.
do, and you
That's
have to
powerful.
control that. You have to control that. You can't just sit and sulk without dealing with your mental first. It all comes first.
Are you aware of, do you know, are you conscious of, now that you've made that connection, do you know what led you to being depressed at times? I know for me,
Oh yeah,
I
absolutely.
dealt with postpartum depression for 5 years. I
Five
dealt with
years.
postpartum depression for 5 years. I didn't even know I was depressed until I was no longer depressed.
Mhm.
Okay, so
Mhm.
yeah, for 5 years, my daughter is the love of my life. She's the light of my life,
Mhm.
Mariah, and I don't even remember her as an infant
Wow, the trauma.
because I never had her. I
Mhm.
was blessed to have some angels in my life, which again has created a well of compassion for me for other women,
Mhm.
because God blessed me to have women in my life to look out for me
Right.
when I could not look out for myself or my daughter. So when Mariah was an infant, I never had her because I did not have the capacity to function. Like
Mhm.
it was all I could do when I could get out of bed. It was all I could do to get out of bed.
Right.
So I'm grateful for the people who were in my life then, and they're still in our lives now. But, that depression, that darkness, that place, whew, is
It's a lot.
now I can say it's a gift,
Mhm.
because for me it has birthed a deeper sense of empathy and compassion and kindness and love, knowing that you never know what someone else is going through. Even
And
if they
that's
show up put together,
that's real.
even if they show up
That's real.
having impact, right?
Mhm. That's
Making
real.
a difference. You never know. So share a little bit about coming out of and just being mindful of that. I think when you can transmute your pain like that into power, it's a gift. And it's a lesson that maybe someone who is watching or will watch later can be inspired from.
Right. I actually had depression starting early in high school. I
Mm.
used to drink. And this is very transparent.
Mhm.
I would drink NyQuil just to sleep. I didn't want to be present. Uh, in reality, my dream world was better. I could sleep and I would just feel more comfortable being in that space. So as I
Mhm.
got older, nobody, especially in the Black community, they don't tell you, well, you'll be okay. You'll be all right. You pray your way through it. It's going to work out, but they don't tell you how to deal with it. So as I got
Right.
older, I had trauma. My dad passed away, and my dad passed away. Then my grandmother passed away 2 weeks later, like within a 2 week period of time. So that was
Wow. Wow. Say that one more time, because I want to
why I
make
got
sure
a
that
moment. Like,
people
why would you take two
heard
people
you
I
say
really
that.
love? Yeah. Why would you take two people I really love away from me, and I really just didn't. I had never really experienced death in threes before,
Mhm.
so it was my cousin, then my grandmother, or my dad and my grandmother, and then I just checked out. You know, I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. You know, I started drinking,
Mhm.
I was smoking, I just was unhappy. I was just passing through. I was existing, and it was for about a year. After that year is when I finally started. I woke up. You know, I had a God moment. I had that experience where God was talking to me, and He said, you either come out of this, or it's never, it's not going to get any better. You need to deal with whatever it is that's making you feel this way. So I started going to the gym and working out to check my mental health. I started reading. You know, I started reading soulful books that would give me some insight on how to deal with myself internally first and then externally second, because you got
Mhm.
to work from the inside out. You don't take care of your what you're eating, what you're listening to, what you're reading, the people that you're around, your friends that, you know, watch you sulk and be in a sunken place. I had that. You know, I had people that weren't
Mhm.
any good for me. So I had to I basically had to isolate myself and sit with myself and say, this is what's going on. You deal with this, and then we're going to come out of this. We're going to come out of it. You're going to come out of it. I'm going to come out of it. So, and that's how my process started. And I've been on that journey ever since. I still deal with things. I still have that thing in the back of my head that says, okay, well, you may be having a not so good day, but don't go back to what you were doing before. You can do
Mhm.
better. You can always do better. You can wake up and make a conscious decision to be positive, to have a good mindset, to love people despite, because everybody is going through something. Everybody's
Isn't
going
that
through something. It's
something?
not just us. It's not just me. It's not just, it's everybody, you know, especially in times like these. So it's important. If I had advice, I would tell people to really write down what it is that bothers you, what it is that you have issues with, maybe other people, and, you know, map it out. There's always a core root to something, and once you deal with that, you can move forward and say, okay, this is how we fix it, this is how we move forward. And that was
I
my
think what
process.
is really powerful, everything you're saying is powerful, but what is really sticking out to me and resonating is the movement, right?
Hmm.
Like you can wake up and decide
You can
at
choose.
every, and I say at every moment we live at choice.
Hmm.
Like even if the choice is about what am I going to do next? I
Right.
don't even know about tomorrow, right?
Right.
Or later tonight. What do I need to do
Today.
next?
Hmm.
Right?
Today.
What is my next move? What do I need to do next to stay in motion?
Hmm. And keep the ball
Because it's
rolling.
also a choice. It's also a choice to be stuck,
Hmm.
right? And just sit in it. And as you said, your word earlier, sulk,
Soak in it.
which a
Hmm.
lot of people do. And I think it's important and so amazing that you talked about going into that dark place after grieving.
Hmm.
And it's
I
so
don't even think I
relevant
had a
right
chance.
now.
I don't even think I had a chance to grieve because there was so much with other people going on. I couldn't address how I felt because I was trying
Wow.
to be there for other people when they were going through. And actually, it made me upset. I was angry because, like, well, who's here for me? You know,
Mm.
I got to be here for me. And the thing is I have to be here for me. I can't expect for everybody, you know, especially the people who mean you no good, to be in my space to take care of me. And if there were people, they'll show up. You know, eventually they will show up. But you have to heal yourself first. Your vibe attracts those types of people. You attract what you are already. So you have
Girl,
to,
I love you.
you
I'm
know.
telling you, I love you so much. I love you so freaking much. Listen, how often do we as women give it all away
All the
and then
time.
have nothing left?
All the time.
And
Our
then we're
children.
trying to build a life on
Hmm.
fumes
Yep.
because we've given everything away, taking care of
Everything.
other people and forgetting about ourselves. And I say you cannot give away what you don't have,
We're
that you
nurturers by
have to
nature.
live,
Hmm.
you have to love, you have to serve, you have to rise from your overflow
Hmm.
because your capacity is for you. That is so good.
It's real. It's so we're nurturers by nature, so we're going to do whatever it takes to make sure that people around us are good. even if it's before ourselves. But the lesson is to fill your cup, as we know that, fill your cup first and then pour into other people. You know, don't pour from an empty cup, because then that's when all the trauma starts happening. It's like, well, why is this happening? It's like, well, you know why it's happening. You just need to sit down, and it's okay to rest. Right? We
Right,
know
because
why
we
it's happening.
cannot fix what we won't face. We can't
Right.
fix what we won't face,
We
right?
have to
So
face it.
we have to do that. Just thank you so much for your courage and your transparency. It is helping someone, and it is going to help many, many more people.
Right.
Because we all have a story.
Hmm.
We all have things and trauma that we have come through,
Hmm.
and we've just learned how to manage it.
Manage
And
it.
sometimes we're not managing it. We're just doing the best we can
We're
with
just
some
going
lip gloss
through.
and some eyeliner
Right.
and a
And
little
passing
blush.
through.
Yeah,
Right.
and until we sit in the truth of our pain,
Hmm.
we cannot heal our pain to transmute it, to turn it into power.
Right.
And once you turn it into power, it becomes beautiful. It adds to the beauty of who we are internally. That soul, I call it soul alchemy, of
Hmm.
who we are on the outside. It begins to radiate from within. And I think that's really what attracted me to you. But I think you were attracted to Soul Wealth first, which I'm
It's
grateful
a
for,
beautiful
so
thing.
grateful for. But I felt your energy. I leaned into the beauty of who you are from a soul place, right?
Thank
I could
you.
feel it. I could really, really feel that. And I'm really grateful for you, grateful for the sistership, and for, look at you blushing, stop! I am grateful for who you
Likewise.
are, and to introduce you and share you with my world, the
Hmm.
sisterhood in my life, and several of them are on here, and I've been saying, you need to follow her, and just making some connections. So as we wind up, because, we could chat all day, but we
All
won't. We'll just
day.
have to bring you back.
Okay.
What is your IG? How can people connect with you? How can they follow you, keep up with your DJing journey, your rising journey, your love journey, your jewelry journey? So share what your Instagram is for you, and then for your jewelry page as well.
Okay. Instagram for DJ is DJ Phoenix Amora. I can type it in here if you want me to. And
Nope, nope. Somebody will
no.
type it. Leslie, can
Okay.
you type it? Or Leah, can you type it? Somebody will type it.
It's
But go ahead.
DJ Phoenix Amora, and the jewelry page is at Phoenix Amora Designs,
Love
spelled
it.
exactly how it said. Yep.
Phoenix Amora Designs. And if you
Hmm.
missed it earlier, she talked about Phoenix being the rising
In love.
and Amora being love. So rising in love. Look
Hmm.
at you, rising in love, girl. How you like me now, right?
I love it.
That's
I
what
love
you
it.
look at your dark places and you're like, I am rising
I
still
came through. I
in
came through.
love.
Hmm.
Came through. We go
Yep.
through to come through, to come
Yep.
out, to
And to
go
share,
up.
and to go up and share, and
To
to
go
share our
up and share
experiences.
from a place of love. And when you do that, God literally does give us beauty for ashes. The
Hmm.
things that
Oh wow,
that
I love
were
that.
lost in
Hmm.
the fire and in the flames of our pain, of our despair, of our grief. There is a
Hmm.
divine exchange that takes place
Hmm.
when you just grab hold of a little faith and a little courage. There's an exchange that takes place
Hmm. That's powerful.
where now we get to talk about what we've come through. And what we've come through and what we've been through is not who we are. It just helped to make us, right? Make us even more powerful. So before we close, what are you grateful for?
I am grateful for. I'm grateful for health. I'm grateful for love. I'm grateful for family. I'm grateful um, for life, you know, just life and being able to see another day because we're not promised tomorrow. You know, I'm grateful for my children, my husband, family, you know, everything. I can't, you know, I don't wake up any morning without saying, without having my peace time. What am I grateful for today? You know,
Mm.
the first thing, I'm awake. You know, second thing, I have everything I need to do what I need to do in this lifetime for myself and for others. So, you know, go out there and do it. Everything. There's nothing I'm not grateful for, you know. Nothing.
Y'all better get that gratitude. Y'all better get that
Gratitude is
gratitude
everything.
because gratitude changes your attitude and your attitude changes your altitude, right? It
Hmm.
transforms everything. DJ Phoenix Amora, thank you so much for
Thank you
joining
for
me
having me.
on this Soul Wealth Chat. You will be back, and the next time I'll sit in a different place. I just didn't want to move because
I
I'm
hear
I'm
you.
just like, we gonna keep talking. I don't want to move. You know, the Wi-Fi is trying to act up, but we came through anyway
We
with
made
a
it.
beautiful conversation, a beautiful introduction to who you are as a woman, as a wife, as a daughter, as a mother,
Hmm.
as a friend, as a sister. And it's a beautiful thing. That rising in love, that's a t-shirt. You need to go and get that t-shirt done now.
Let me work on that and some mash too
You
while I'm
should
at
get that.
it. Yeah.
Rising in love.
Rising in love. We should all be doing
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
we should all be doing that.
Mm.
Rising in love at all times and always and all things. With all people, even the people who aren't so nice to us. We don't have to be up close and personal and intimate, but we are responsible for what comes out of us,
That's
not
key.
what comes out of other people.
That's the key. You
And
can only
so,
control yourself. You can only control
yeah,
yourself and your actions.
yeah, yeah. And
Period.
when we live like that,
Hmm.
we preserve our peace.
And become
When you know
wholesome.
that the only person you can control is
Is
you.
yourself.
I'm so looking forward to
Me too.
being in a room where you're spinning some music and we can dance and twirl and rise in love. Again,
Let's
thank
do
you
it.
so much. Y'all go
Thank
follow
you.
her at DJ Phoenix Amora, Rising in Love. Go follow her and Phoenix Amora Designs for her jewelry. And
Thank
we will
you.
do this again. We will do
Okay.
this again. I'm
I'm ready.
so grateful
Me
for
too.
all that you've come through, for the darkness that you've come out of and stepped into light. And
Hmm.
now you're just a beautiful ball of energy and
Thank
love
you.
and light and a
Likewise.
wonderful example of what happens when you don't quit.
Don't give up. Don't give up. Don't give up.
Don't give up. I will close
Don't
with
give up.
this. One of my favorite scriptures says that God makes everything beautiful in its own time.
Timing, God's timing is everything. It's not our timing. It's never our timing. It's never our timing. It's always about God's timing. And we know that my favorite scripture, all things work together for the good of those that love the Lord. Like that is, it's all about God's timing. Just be patient, wait it out. It's going to work out. It always does.
And with that, we will end this Soul Wealth Chat for now.
Okay.
It always works out. Have a powerful day, everyone. Thank you so much for
Thank you.
tuning in to this conversation with this beautiful sister.
Thank you.
DJ Phoenix Amora is her Instagram. Her jewelry page is Phoenix Amora Designs, to go and look at the beautiful, mindfully created jewelry pieces
Thank you.
that she's created out of a place of healing and out of
Hmm.
a place of rising and out of a place of love. All right, everyone. Peace. Talk to you
Bye.
soon. DJ Phoenix Amora.
Thank you. Yes,
Bye-bye.
ma'am. Bye.